Hi everyone, I'm Danielle Denise and welcome to my channel. Today I have a new video, which is an update on my nursing journey about my new job as a nurse extern in L&D. Now, I know some of you might have questions like, what is this job? How did she get it before she even graduated? I thought she wanted to do psych. I'll be addressing all of that and more in this video on how I got my job as a nurse extern. So let's just dive right into the story. So traditionally, what's supposed to happen in this part of my program, I'm supposed to be on winter break preparing for my clinical residency in my 5th semester. 5th semester doesn't start until January, and basically what clinical residency is, it's a one-to-one nurse preceptorship. Whatever shift your nurse that's precepting you works, you work that shift, you get patients, you basically start your life as a baby nurse aside from the clinical setting, what we've been doing once a week throughout this program. So that's what's supposed to happen for me next semester. But of course, that's not how it went because, as one of my friends likes to say, we are in a pan pizza, and Miss Carone made sure that she added a little spice to what our clinical residency was supposed to be. So like, since the pandemic started, it's been a battle of trying to find clinical placements for everybody because not a lot of hospitals want students in the setting. I mean, things are changing and we'll get into that, but it made it harder to find clinical placements regularly. So finding preceptorships for our clinical residency just individually became even harder, I guess. So beginning of November, I decided to opt out of even trying to find a hospital, and I just decided, hey, I'm just gonna do COVID contact tracing. I know it's like not getting the most of your experience, but I was like, I don't even wanna worry about it. I know they're probably gonna put me in med surg. I don't wanna do it anyways, so I'll just do contact tracing. Contact tracing for me was just cool. Like, I've done it this past semester, calling people up, listening about their symptoms, talking to them about quarantining, isolation, just patient education over the phone. I mean, sometimes people hang up on you, but I can't be mad. I mean, I don't want to talk to you either. So that's how it probably would have gone for me 3 times a week, 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours a day. I would have just been okay with that. But God had better plans for me, okay? So my program director sent me a text one day saying that a local hospital was offering nurse externships to students who didn't have clinical placements yet. And although I had decided that I wanted to opt in for contact tracing, she was like, hey, this is the opportunity. The only thing is you got to apply tonight. And I was like, you know what? I didn't know. All I needed was a little money to encourage me to sign up to throw myself back into med surg. But another plot twist, I go online, I see what units are offering or accepting nurse externs, and I saw LDRP. For those of you who don't know, LDRP is labor, delivery, recovery, and postpartum. And if you know, I think I've talked about it a couple times on my channel, the only other unit or field that I could see myself working in nursing, which wasn't psych, was L&D. Like, prior to even coming to nursing school, I was like, I wanted to be an obstetrician, didn't want to be a gynecologist, but for some reason wanted to be an obstetrician. I was young. But then also my L&D rotation went really well. I loved it, you know, cried during the first birth. I saw all of that, loved L&D, and like, I just always wanted to do both. Let's talk about on this side. Let's just take a moment really quick, because this is where my dilemma came. Once I saw it, I was like, if I get in with L&D, this might be my sign that like God might want to like detour me a little bit. I don't know, because that's the only other thing that I've really liked just as passionately or just as much as psych. I'm like, well, if I end up staying after the externship and I do their new grad program, like what is this going to be for me? Like, will I finish my master's? Because my school doesn't have women's health or midwifery. So if I decided to go into that, but then I also came across this lady on Instagram who's a psych NP for moms, and she works with them through postpartum depression, perinatal mental health issues, all of that. And I'm like, when worlds collide, because I can do both. Like, I don't have to just choose. And yeah, all in that moment, it was just a lot to think about. Just like after submitting the application, it was just a lot. So let's get back to the story. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest, just so you guys are clear with where my head is at with L&D versus psych and possibly doing both. I don't know. But anyways, back to the story. So I submit the application. Again, it's paid. It's my encouragement. I put down my top choices, none of which involved med-surg. So when they started calling us to let us know what our placements were, I was at clinical, and a few of my other classmates, they were already receiving their calls while we were at clinical. So everyone was asking me like, hey, did you get your call yet? Did you get called? This is where I am. Where are you? And I'm just like, nobody's called me yet. And I'm thinking to myself, this must be bad. This must be really bad. Or like, they're gonna give me med-surg. I just know it. I know it. I feel it in my heart, especially because other people that chose LDRP or labor and delivery, they had already been called. And I was noticing a trend that they were calling people based on the units that they wanted. And I didn't get the call when everybody else was getting that call. So by the time I left from clinical, I was in the car, I finally get a call. The lady offers me a position. She's like, hey, we're really excited. We want to offer you a position in med-surg. Me, being me, I'm just like, yes, I accept. Like, so happy to join your team. And then I'm like hanging up to go talk to my mom. And I notice like my voice is cracking. I'm like, I have this pit in my stomach, and I'm like, oh no, like I don't think I can do it. Like, I wanted to cry and everything. Like, it was bad. Like, the feeling that I get being on a med-surg floor, or even preparing to go to clinical the day before when I'm in med-surg, it's not a good feeling. Like, I was about to break down. I was talking to my friends, and I was really choking up. And I'm like, you know what? I can just pull out. I'll just do contact tracing. Like, everything was short notice. Like, I had to apply the same day. We got notified of our placements like 2 days later, and then we'd have to start that next week. And it was just all moving so fast. And I'm like, let me just pull back. Like, maybe I can just do contact tracing, because the way that I'm feeling right now, this won't be good. So I just decided to call them back and say, hey, can I just get more time to think about it before I like officially accept? And the lady asked why, and we were just kind of talking about things, and somehow we got around to mentioning that my first choice was LDRP. And she was like, that's not what I see here. And I'm like, see where? And she's like, on the form. Like, med-surg was your first choice. I thought that's what you wanted. And I'm like, no. I had LDRP and maybe a little bit of ED, maybe something else. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, do my eyes deceive me? Is there another form? But turns out there's another person with a name similar to mine. They had med-surg as their first choice, and we are not the same person. So she was like, oh, but LDRP is your first choice? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, oh, there's plenty of spots left in LDRP. Like, there's no problem. We can switch you. And for some reason, I was feeling so guilty for actually getting what I wanted, because like, I'm just like, I will just be content with whatever I get usually. The way med-surg was making me feel, I was about to be contact tracing, okay? So I thought I could handle med-surg probably, but the way my emotions and just everything, it was just not working. So once I got LDRP, I was like, perfect. Like, I didn't say that on the phone, but I'm like, thank you so much. I didn't want to seem unappreciative, but that's just where I wanted to be. And I'm really excited for the opportunity, you know, and we got everything worked out. Next thing you know, I'm a nurse extern in LDRP. So yeah, that's how I got my job. That's the story of everything that I had to jump through and go through just to get here. I hope that it was easy to follow. Hopefully I can edit this video well enough that it's easy to follow, because it was just a lot going on, just from having the last minute call to apply, to starting like that next week, or just like less than 14 days later, to actually getting the unit that I wanted and the unit that I've been feeling like maybe I should do L&D versus psych, or maybe I can do both, or something can come from this, or at least it would check my box of feeling like, what if? So I'll never feel like I never gave it a chance, you know? Yeah, so I'm very excited. I've been working for about a week now, or a little over a week. I just worked last night. I'm actually in my scrubs and stuff because I took a couple pictures for Janu. If you don't know, I'm a Janu ambassador now. I'll leave my code and everything in the description box, or I'll put it on the screen. I'm so excited. I love them. But yeah, I've been working. It's been great. Oh, let me tell you guys what a nurse extern is. So basically, this is an option that people have been doing even prior to COVID and everything. It's like you're covering the CNA work, which the nurses would already do, because in LDRP, they don't have CNAs or anything, so they do it all themselves. So I'm doing different things depending on which unit I'm on, or which floor I'm on in LDRP, whether I'm in L&D or postpartum. And then I can do anything that I've learned in school as a nurse that I don't necessarily need my license for. I'm still supervised by the RNs on the floor. So I can do anything from baby vitals, mommy vitals, giving meds, passing meds, all of that. Nothing like IV pushes, but oral meds are fine, vaccines are fine. I'm also doing 24-hour checks, our baby baths, blood screenings. Not corona. I just got choked up. Blood screenings, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. Anything they're willing to teach me and do, I'm doing that. And especially because there is possibly an opportunity to do the new grad program after this. I mean, just between you and me, okay, I was walking with the nurse manager down the hall. She was with another new grad, and I was telling the new grad, I was like, I really hope to be where you are soon. And the nurse manager was like, you will. And I was like, girl, you ain't said nothing but a word, because I will stay. I will stay. You can't get rid of me. I will stay, okay? And I'll figure out the rest from school afterwards, but also the way I run around on the postpartum floor and my back is giving out. I only got like 3 years in bedside in me, and I'm gonna have to go because my back is tired. Let me tell you something that really makes me happy. I like when I'm in L&D as second in transport, so second assist nurse in the delivery room. So what you do, you take the baby, once they catch her or him, you get to weigh them, you do the full assessment, you do their little footprints and all of that. It's just so beautiful. Every birth that I've been in so far has just been so beautiful. It is literally a light in this dark panoramic like atmosphere. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at the chills. I don't know if you can see, like, just me talking about it. Oh my gosh. Look, see, oh, you can't see, but it just brings so much joy, you guys. I mean, they might run me around like crazy, but it's those moments that make it so much better. So much better, and so worth it. Even if I'm just an extern, the nurses are great. They're just so helpful. And I don't know, this is just where I am now. We'll see what it's looking like in a couple weeks, couple months, once it's time to take this NCLEX, all of that. I'll keep you guys updated, as you know, but that's my story. I'm a nurse extern in LDRP. I'm very happy, very content. They do have me working some crazy shifts though. They do, because my first few days, I was supposed to work 5 days in a row, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but I had clinical on Friday, so I worked Thursday, went to clinical Friday, then did Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and they had me looking a little crazy, but it's okay. It's okay, because I made it through, and it wasn't so bad. Like, some days are like really chill, so it was cool for now, but they don't have me working like that anymore, so we're good. For now. So that sums it up, everybody. That's it. I'm a nurse extern in LDRP. Very happy, very content. But let's see in a couple weeks or months where I'll end up staying or going, or where else this nursing journey leads me. Will I stay in L&D? Will I go back to psych? Will I do both? I don't know. We'll see next time on Dragon Ball Z what's gonna happen. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following me on my nursing journey. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, all of that. I'll see you in the comments and in my next video. I'll talk to you later. Bye.